Hi everyone, this is Ginger with Gingerberry Creek, and today's tutorial is going to be about how you attach your primitive doll head to your primitive doll body. So that's today's tutorial. What you'll need is obviously your two completed pieces, your head and your body. You're also going to need some upholstery thread, which is this right here. And you'll need your sewing needle, and I've already attached the upholstery thread. I try to, when I do the upholstery thread, I try to get something that's going to match the color that I've used. Sometimes you can find that in your, big box stores or your craft stores. So I try to get different colors to use so that I can try to match up or get as close as you can anyway. You're also going to need a couple of pins for pinning to hold it in place while you get the stitching going. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing I usually do is, now for the purpose of this video, I'm going to leave it kind of laying down so you can see how I audition. But normally I would set the body upright like this and then hold my head up and figure out how I want it. So, but I'm going to kind of lay it back so so that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna I want to attach right here along this sewn slit. So I'm going to put this edge kind of against, where this sewn slit is. And then this will be all covered up with a bow, the ribbon bow when we get done. But so that's where you would start, and then you would look at it on this side, and if you want to tilt your head, to one side, figure out how you want the expression to look or his head to look, you would do that. I'm going to tilt the head slightly to this one side. And once I get it kind of in the place that I like, then I'm going to go ahead and pin it. Ooh, I'm gonna pin it in place. So I'm going to make sure that my sewn slit is here with in line, and then I'm going to take my pin and pin, and then I'm going to pin this side as well. Sometimes you need more than one hand, or more than the two that you have. Alright, so and then what I'm going to do is kind of flip it back over and look and see if that's kind of where I want it. If I don't, if I want to adjust, I would adjust. So that looks good to me. So now I'm going to turn it back over. Make sure that I'm still lined up good. And then I have my needle and my thread already, and I always knot down here at the bottom just to hold the threads together. It's easier that way, but I'm gonna end up leaving a long thread tail, so you'll need to do that as well, but I just knot it. And the reason why I like using the upholstery thread is that way you can really tighten it down and it'll stay, whereas with regular thread, it could break and pull apart. So with the upholstery thread, it's a lot stronger, and it will hold and last with any kind of movement. So alright, so I've got it in place. My pins are there. I'm going to leave those pins in until I get a few stitches going. I'm going to come in here at my body seam right over here on the side, and then I'm going to push And I'm not going to go in any particular order. I'm just going to push through the head of the fabric and then come out right above the this right here, the body, the top of the body part. All right, so if I push them together, you can see where my needle is. I'm going to push that through. I'm going to pull on my thread here, and then I'm going to straighten up my threads. And here's where I'm going to make sure that I have a nice long thread tail so that I can knot this off and then hide the thread tails. So now from there, I'm going to come back into the body. So I'm going to go back into the body, push into the head, and kind of push over. And you can see I came out on this other side over here. Like I said, there's no particular order. Now I'm going to pull that. Now be careful when you pull to tighten it down at first, because you know this tail end will disappear quite quickly if you're not careful. So anyway, make sure you still have your nice long thread tail. You've taken that first stitch right there, because we can tighten these up. If they're loose, that's okay. We can tighten these up as we go. So now I'm going to kind of turn my project so that I can go back this other direction. So now my piece is here, my thread is here. I'm going to go back into the body, into the head, and then push over to come out kind of a little bit above where the body, top of the body is there. And then I'm going to pull again. Alright, so now we've got 2 stitches made. Now I'm going to do another one. And I'm not removing those pins yet because I want to make sure it's secured before I pull those pins. So now I'm going to go back into the body. And now I'm going to push over to this side over here so that I can catch it. And then that way we've had it in a few places, and then we can remove our pins and stitch some more. So I'm into the head part. There's my needle over here to the side. And now I'm going to push. Careful there. I don't want to catch more of the fabric than I need. Keeps pushing into the, there we go. So then you pull your thread and watch, be careful that it doesn't tangle up. Alright. So now I'm going to turn this way. So we've got a few stitches. Now I can kind of pull a little tighter on that, and I'm at a point to where I can go ahead and remove these pins, because now you can see that it's attached. It's going to be floppy. You know, I'm flipped backwards, but that's okay. We're not done yet. So I've taken that stitch. I've got my thread over here. I'm going to go back into, from the head, I'm going to go back into the body. And now I'm going to come back over here because I want to catch some more fabric over here to make sure that it's nice and secure. Sorry about that. Nice and secure here. So I'm going to push my into that body over here to the top part of in the head and the top part there. I'm going to pull my thread. Now I'm going to start cinching down to pull it nice and tight. All right. So here I am here. Now I probably only have a couple more and then it'll be attached. So I'm going to go, here's my thread here. I'm going to go back into the body and I want to come out over here now. So I'm going to put into the body, go into the head, and then push over till I'm ready where I want it to come out, which is right there. Now I'm going to pull my thread. I'm going to pull this other in, make sure that it's good. And I think one more stitch and we'll be done. I'm going to go into the body here and I'm going to come out on this side where I started. So I'm going to go back into the body and then just come out next to this long thread tail. So I'm going to go into the body and then I'm going to come out next to this other thread tail and pull my thread. All right, so now there's both my thread tails. Okay, there they are. So I'm going to go ahead and knot this off. Pull it nice and tight. And I'm going to double knot. All right. And now I'm going to clip these threads. Right below that knot that I had made to keep the thread nice and still. So I'm going to clip that. I'm going to take my needle. You can always grab another needle if you want and not mess with it. Sometimes that's what I do. And now I'm going to thread these threads here back onto this needle, because I want to hide, now that I've knotted off, I'm going to hide all these thread tails here and clip them. So now I'm going to go back in where my knot is down here, push over, come out, and just work with it. I know it's kind of bulky there, but it will come through. You just have to kind of work with it. Sometimes want to get caught up, but just keep, especially on the seam. There we go. So just pull at it. That's a nice thing about using the upholstery thread. See, I can tug at it and it's not gonna break. So that's why I always have it in the patterns to use the upholstery thread for attaching. So now I'm just gonna clip close to the fabric here. Don't clip into your fabric, otherwise you'll make a hole, and then that's it. Those threads are now underneath everything, hiding it. You don't compromise the knot to come, you know, to unravel, then it'll be fine. And now your head is attached. Now it will flop back and forth like this until you go ahead and, you know, put on your scarf bow and then kind of glue it down to hold it. But that is how you attach the head to the body. And I hope that this tutorial has been helpful. And thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my other tutorials that I have to offer. And you all have a great day. Thank you. Bye.